Congratulations on your purchase of the Wagner Paint Crew Plus, the ultimate house painting tool, designed for easy use by homeowners, but built with the performance of a contractor sprayer. This Quick Start DVD demonstrates the various steps of using the Paint Crew Plus. For complete instructions and warnings, consult your owner's manual. After reviewing how the system works, we'll cover assembly, preparing to paint, spray technique, and cleanup and storage. The Paint Crew Plus is capable of spraying a variety of paints, primers, and stains, but the techniques are the same regardless of the material. The Paint Crew Plus is an electric piston pump sprayer that comes complete with a high-pressure hose, metal gun, and roller arm. It features a removable 2.5-gallon hopper, large wheeled cart, telescoping handle, and pressure control. The hopper holds the material to be sprayed. Once the power switch is turned on, the pump begins moving the material through the system. The flow direction is controlled by the setting on the Crew Control pressure selector. When this is set to prime, the material circulates through the pump and into the material return tube, which puts it back into the hopper. During spraying or rolling, the prime setting can also be used to relieve high pressure in the spray hose. Setting the Crew Control knob to roll or spray directs the material to the spray hose and gun, building up pressure within the system. The Crew Control pressure selector can vary the system pressure depending on the sprayed material. High pressure is required for most latex and oil house paints. Lower pressures are used for thin stains or when using the included roller attachment. The reversible spray tip creates the spray pattern and is placed in the tip guard. For rolling applications, the tip and guard are replaced with the roller arm. Pulling and releasing the trigger of the spray gun controls the material flow to the surface. Achieving a perfect finish requires a proper spray technique. Use the following tips as your guide. The tip guard assembly can be configured for either horizontal or vertical projects. Once in position, tighten with a wrench. For vertical siding or fencing, it should look like this. For horizontal lap siding, it should look like this. Ensure the unit is properly prepared and primed, and then turn on the power. The material will begin to circulate. Turn to Spray. The motor will start and stop as needed to maintain pressure and adjust to your workflow. Unlock the gun and you're ready to spray. The Crew Control feature allows you to adjust the pressure for the material you are spraying. High pressure is required to spray heavy latex and oil-based materials. The adjustable pressure setting can be used to obtain the optimum spray result when using thinner materials such as semi-transparent stains, sealers, and wood preservatives. Too little pressure creates inconsistent coverage, while excess pressure creates more overspray. Proper gun location is key to achieving an even coating over the entire surface. Always spray perpendicular to the surface at a distance of 10 to 12 inches. If the gun is allowed to point up, down, or to either side, one end of the spray pattern will be thicker than the other. To maintain a right angle to the surface, you will need to move your arm in a sweeping motion and flex your wrist as necessary. Using erratic motions will result in inconsistent coverage and loss of material. To ensure even coverage, begin each stroke by moving your arm without pulling the trigger. Once moving at a good rate, quickly pull the trigger. When approaching the end of the stroke, release the trigger and briefly keep the arm moving. Overlap each stroke by about 30%. If the spray trigger is not released before the end of each stroke, the paint will collect in one place and may run. Keeping these tips in mind, always perfect your technique before spraying your final project. It's a good idea to practice on scrap material or cardboard. Once you feel confident with your technique, move to the actual surface and begin spraying. It's usually best to begin in a more inconspicuous area, as your technique will most likely improve as you progress with the job. When using latex material, if you need to take a break for more than an hour, you'll need to prepare the sprayer for short-term storage. Relieve the pressure from the spray hose by turning off the unit, turning the crew control knob to prime, and triggering the spray gun into the material container. Then lock the gun. Either wrap the gun with a damp cloth and place in a plastic bag, or place upside down in a bucket of water. Slowly pour no more than a quarter cup of water on top of the material in the hopper to prevent drying. Replace the hopper lid and keep the unit out of the sun. To begin again, remove the gun from the bag or bucket. Stir the water into the material in the hopper. Power on the unit and turn the knob to spray. First, test on scrap and then return back to your project. To clean up the Paint Crew Plus, relieve the pressure by turning off the power, turning the knob to prime, and triggering the gun into the material container. Then lock the gun. Remove the tip assembly and immediately place it in cleaning solution. Remove the lid and the material return tube. Lift the hopper from the base and empty the contents back into the original material container. Disassemble the hopper valve and clean the components. Rinse the hopper clean with the appropriate cleaning solution. Replace the assembled hopper and fill with clear cleaning solution. Hold the material return tube over the waste container and in the prime position, turn power on to flush the pump clean. Continue until material flows clear. Turn off the power and replace the return tube. Place a waste bucket next to the original material container. Aim the spray gun into the original container and while holding the trigger down, turn on the power and turn the knob to clean. This flushes material from the hose back into the container. When cleaning solution begins to flow from the gun, immediately move to the waste bucket and continue holding the trigger. When the hopper is empty, turn to prime, power off, and release the trigger. Repeat the process if material flow is not clear. Remove the hopper and squirt 2 ounces of light household oil into the inlet valve. Replace the hopper and turn power on for 5 seconds to distribute the oil. Turn power off for storage. Disconnect the gun from the hose and unsnap the trigger guard. Unscrew the handle from the gun body. Remove the filter and rinse all of the components. Remove the tip from the guard and clean thoroughly. Dry the gun outlet and apply a small amount of household oil. Trigger a few times to distribute the oil. Reassemble the gun and reattach it to the hose. Reattach the spray tip assembly to the gun and store the Paint Crew Plus assembled. For detailed instructions, including troubleshooting solutions, refer to the Paint Crew Plus Complete Manual. Enjoy your Paint Crew Plus spray system from Wagner. Paint fast, paint smart.